Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to Numi's Welcoming Ramadan program. Now, I know this looks a little different than the festivals that we've had in the past, but we hope that nonetheless this is going to get you in the Ramadan spirit. We have a great program lined up with lots of things that I'm sure you've seen on social media. Raef will be joining us at the end of the program. We have comedian Yasmin, also known as Yaz Guru, and beloved children's author Hena Khan. But we're going to start our program today with a little craft that we think that you're going to enjoy. So all the little ones, I hope that you're here watching and paying attention, and we're later going to post this video so that you could watch this video again, so that in case you don't do the craft with us right now in the video, you could see it a little bit later. The program's going to be about 80 minutes long, and I will see you again soon. Stay tuned, and the first thing that we've got up is the craft. So little ones, watch and enjoy.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
My name is Mariam.
My name is Dunya.
Ramadan
Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak. We're going to show you two things today. How to create a moon phase craft that's going to look like this.
And we're going to have a moon scavenger hunt.
So for the first step of this craft, you're going to fold a paper multiple times, a piece of black paper, draw a circle on it with some white crayon or any other crayon color that shows up on black, and then you're going to cut out multiple circles to become moons. And then you're going to pick out 7. Dunya, can you pick out 7 of them? Got our 7, and then we're basically going to be coloring in the moon phases. And so I drew in a crescent moon. I have some samples here to show her, but if you're following along, you can just show the video to your children. I've drawn the line, and I'm asking her just to color in so she's got a crescent moon. So the next one is going to be a half moon. So basically just half of the moon. I've drawn a line, and Dunya's going to color it in. Doesn't matter which half. Okay, so the next step is the gibbous moon. This is the waxing gibbous moon. So you're going to basically draw a line that creates a black crescent here and fill in the rest. So I've done that for Dunya. I'm going to color in the larger portion of that circle to create the waxing gibbous moon. Now we're coloring the whole thing. It's creating the full moon.
Why?
That's when the moon is, you can see the whole moon in the sky. The sun is lighting up the entire moon so we can see all of it. It's all going to be light.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Good question. It's just where the Earth is. We can see the whole moon from where we are.
Yeah, and the moon shows our path where we live.
Yes, that's true. So when there's a full moon, there's a lot of light in the sky. Next moon phase is the waning gibbous. Part of the moon starting to become dark again. So I have Dunya coloring in the line that I created for her. We need one more half moon. That's next.
This one.
Yep, any half, doesn't matter which half. Next one is the waning crescent moon that Dunya is coloring in right now. Perfect. And then you're going to have your kids take the moons that they've colored in and try to arrange them in the right order. So I've got the ones that Dunya colored all mixed up over here, and we're going to try to match them to the moon phases in this picture. activity, we're going to do a crescent moon scavenger hunt. So all those remaining moons, we're going to color in and create all different phases. The only one that you're going to only have one of is the crescent moon. So you're going to create only one crescent moon and then a variety of all the other moons. So we've got new moons, full moons, gibbous moons, half moons. We've colored in a variety, and we've talked about the different moons as we're doing that. So you can do that. And then you're just going to have only one crescent moon. So the scavenger hunt is going to be for this one crescent moon. Found her first moon. And a second one. I'm coming. I'm bringing the lantern. Oh, I see a moon here. What kind of moon is that?
The full moon.
A full moon. That's a full moon. See a gibbous moon. There it is. What kind of moon is that?
Full moon.
Full moon. Yes, that's a full moon. Good job. Is that the crescent moon? Is it the crescent moon? That's the gibbous moon. We found another gibbous one. Let's keep looking.
What are
Let's keep looking. We are looking for the crescent moon. We have not found it yet. So we're going to keep doing this till we find the crescent moon.
we found the last one?
Well, I don't think it's the last one, but let's keep looking. We still haven't found the crescent moon. Because the crescent moon is when Ramadan begins. That's why. Which one is that? Can I see? Which moon did you find? Oh, it's another gibbous moon.
Mommy, at the crescent moon?
What kind of moon is that? That looks like a full moon to me. We still have not found it. I think I see the crescent moon. I think I see it. I think I see it. Do you see it? You don't see it? Keep coming closer. Did you find it? Can I see? Can I see?
I just put it.
Good job. You found the crescent moon. So this is what the moon has to look like when Ramadan's gonna start. Good job.
Mashallah, learning about the lunar calendar, doing a craft together, having a scavenger hunt activity, and even getting a Ramadan decoration out of it, that's a win to me. Now, if you have 30 of those moons for your scavenger hunt, you could also, when you attach them to your garland, remove a single moon every night, and that will show you the days are getting closer to Eid. So when you only have one remaining, you know, there's one night left of Ramadan and you know that Eid is the next day. So one more thing you could do with all those moons. Now that you young ones are listening and paying close attention, I know that you're going to love to hear this next story from our beloved friend and author, Hena Khan, who has amazing Ramadan books that I hope you'll read this Ramadan. There's, of course, everyone's favorite, Curious George celebrates Ramadan, but Hena has actually written a new book that she wants to share with us. Stay tuned.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hena Khan, and I'm excited to welcome Ramadan with you. I know that we wish that Ramadan would be a little different this year. It might be a little challenging to not celebrate and practice Ramadan the way we're used to, with lots of family and friends around us. But inshallah, we'll make the best of it and still connect in different ways. And one of the ways that I like to connect is through stories and through books, and especially over the last few weeks, I've been taking a lot of comfort in stories and books, and I'm really excited to be able to share with you my newest book, which is inspired by the Quran. And as we know, the Quran is a very special part of Ramadan, because Ramadan is when the Quran was revealed to us for the first time. And so during this blessed month, we spend a lot of time reading the Quran, reflecting on the Quran, thinking about its messages as we try to be the best people we can be. And what I did when I wrote this new book of mine was go through and think about some of the verses that really speak to me and really reflect universal values that Muslims have, and the wishes that we all share for our children, for the ones we love, for our community, and some of the words of guidance that we really think about on a regular basis. And so I went through and wrote down some of my very favorite verses, like, "Do good, for Allah loveth those who do good," or "He is with you wherever you are, and Allah of what you do is seeing," or "And say, my Lord, increase me in knowledge," or "We brought for you thereby gardens of palm trees and grapevines, in which for you are abundant fruits." And I continued, and I wrote down lots of different verses, and then I simplified them down to the pages of this book, which you'll see they're very, very simplified. But what I went and ended up creating is Like the Moon Loves the Sky, which was published by Chronicle Books, and it just came out last month. And I'm very grateful to the team who helped put this together, including my editor at Chronicle, including the artist, Safa Khan, who created this amazing art. And although we share the same last name, there's actually no relation between me and Safa. In fact, she lives in England, and we haven't had the chance to meet yet. But she really used this beautiful color palette and created very lush, vibrant illustrations with lots of plants and flowers and these deep, rich colors, which I really appreciate. I also love that they put this gorgeous, shimmering effect on the cover where it almost looks like the glow of the moon, which I think is really special. I also want to thank Imam Tariq El-Gawari, who fact-checked this book for me, as he has in the past with my other books, and gives me the comfort that I'm not making mistakes or saying something I shouldn't. So thank you, Imam Tariq, for your input. And I start the book off with an author's note, which I will read to you. I'm a lefty, so I'm going to go this way. This is the beautiful end paper, and this is a note from me, the author note, which I often put at the end of my books, but in this case I wanted to start with one so I could explain to people what it is that they're going to be reading. So I say, "The phrase inshallah is something I say throughout my day when making any plan or wishing anything for the future, from the most basic everyday intentions to my biggest dreams. It means God wills it in Arabic, and is something that Muslims around the globe hear from the moment they are born and are taught to express as they learn to speak. The phrase, however, goes beyond Muslims and popular culture, and today is used throughout the Arabic-speaking world by people of many faiths to reflect the idea of a greater force or power beyond ourselves. It's a common theme found in other languages and cultures as well, such as Ojalá in Spanish or God willing in English. As a parent, my most frequent prayers and wishes are for my children, and the phrase inshallah is intertwined with each and every one. In uncertain times, it offers me comfort and strength. This book celebrates both the phrase and a mother's love and hopes for her child. Every line or wish in the book is inspired by the Quran, the Muslim holy book, which offers guidelines on how to live a thoughtful and grounded life filled with fairness, charity, justice, and most of all, love. These are universal values that transcend any particular belief system, and I hope they will resonate with all readers, inshallah. And here we start with Like the Moon Loves the Sky. I'll move up so you can see the drawings. Let's start with, inshallah, you are all that is gentle and good. Inshallah, you feel safe, like all children should. Inshallah, you are kind to those most in need. Inshallah, you seek knowledge, reflect, and read. Inshallah, you stand strong like a tree with firm roots. Inshallah, you plant gardens filled with sweet fruits. Inshallah, you have faith that won't waver or bend. Inshallah, you reach out and make a new friend. I read that wrong. It says, Inshallah, you reach out to make a new friend. Inshallah, you are thoughtful of plans that you make. Inshallah, you speak truth and work for its sake. And it might be hard to tell what's happening here, but these kids have broken the flower pot this boy's holding, and they're knocking on the door of the person whose home it is with an apology note. So they're being honest. Inshallah, you travel to thrilling new places. Inshallah, you count all your blessings and graces. Inshallah, you find wonder in birds as they fly. Inshallah, you are loved like the moon loves the sky. And there we have the end of the book. I hope that you will consider this book when you're looking to make Eid gifts or Ramadan gifts. But most of all, I hope that you will consider supporting our local independent bookstores that are really struggling right now since they've been closed for weeks. There's an amazing website that's been set up called bookshop.org, where you can go in and purchase all the books that you're interested in getting and choose which local independent bookstore you'd like to buy from. And that way, hopefully they'll stay in business. But you can also find this and my other books, of course, anywhere online. But I hope you will consider supporting the local bookstores. I also wanted to let you know that this page of the book, which is one of my very favorites, Inshallah, You Seek Knowledge, Reflect, and Read, is available as a free downloadable poster on my website and on the publisher's website. But if you go to henakhan.com and the page that has Like the Moon Loves the Sky, you can see a button that says download free poster, and you can use that to decorate your room or classroom or office or whatever you like. But I hope you will spend time reading and reflecting and counting all of our blessings during Ramadan. I hope you all stay healthy and well and have a truly blessed month. And I hope that we will, inshallah, meet in person soon. But please stay well and healthy. And thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this celebration. Much love to you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Hope you guys are enjoying the program so far. I wanted to take a moment and ask us, when we think about Ramadan, what comes to mind? If I'm honest with you, the first thing that comes to mind is not being able to eat food. But the reality is, this month we're actually going to have a lot of things that we're not going to be able to do. We're not going to be able to go to the masjid. We're not going to be able to have iftar with grandma. We're not going to be able to have these lavish iftars where we are overindulging in everything that we've missed for the entire day that we were fasting. But instead of thinking about Ramadan in what we can't do, I thought maybe it's time for us to rethink this and think about Ramadan from what we can do. Now, one thing I know I can do this Ramadan is one by one take away all the things that are distracting me from my relationship with my Creator. It's time for me to really focus. And I ask us, like, why do we do that anyway? Why do we need to create that relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And the kids might answer, because my parents taught me. And the parents might answer, because that's what my religion asks of me. But we know that we came from Allah, and to Allah we return. And until that time that we return to Allah, our hearts are missing that nearness with our Creator. Our Creator doesn't need our worship, but we need that worship. And now more than ever, my heart needs Ramadan. So I don't know what the answers are for you. Why are you doing this? But now's the time that we get to figure it out. And I know that there's a lot of things we can do this month. And I actually want to draw your attention to one in particular, an idea for a service project I have, because service is so important in Ramadan, as we know. Well, right now, everyone lives near a food pantry. And you might not have had to visit the food pantry, inshallah, alhamdulillah, and that's a blessing and a rizq. But right now, the food pantries that are all near us are actually empty. Last year in Ramadan, they weren't. They had food, but now this year, because of what's going on with the pandemic, there's more people requesting food than the pantries can keep up with. So I ask you, we have the example of the Prophet who said we shouldn't fill our bellies when our neighbors are hungry. So what if this Ramadan we all called our local food pantries? Everyone called to find the one that's closest to them and ask what their needs are. Mostly it's canned soups, canned goods, non-perishable foods like cereals. But then, of course, there's blessings that we can offer that we know are good things from the Quran, like honey and rice and dates and olives and things that, maybe not dates actually, but olives that are canned, things that we can give that are good things so that families are not just getting like ramen noodles, which I love ramen noodles, but not the most nutritious thing for families who need them. Now, there's so many things that people are worried about at this time of year and right now with what's going on in our lives, but let's work together and make it so that hunger is not one of them. In the DMV, we can all be doing this. Find your local pantry. Kids, you remind your parents to find your local pantry and keep it stocked all month. That's what we can do together. I hope your Ramadan is filled with blessings. And I hope the parents out there can teach their kids what can be done in Ramadan, because right now without school, you are your child's teacher. And they're learning from you, and although you want them to memorize surahs and gain all these blessings in Ramadan, you could teach them most through your action and through your trying. It's through the practice of self-discipline, the practice of compassion, that we actually reap the reward of the relationship of nearness to our Lord. And that's a practice that we also practice with a rahmah for ourselves, because we're not always going to get that right. We're going to be hungry and tired, and there's things that go wrong, but it's called a practice because you can get up the next day and try it again. That is service, my friends. Can you join together with me? Can we do that together? Can you show me what you can do this Ramadan? What can you do? Because the sky is the limit. The next part of our program is by our friends at UPF, Unity Production Foundations. They're the filmmakers behind Muhammad, The Legacy of the Prophet, Prince Among Slaves, Islamic Art, The Sultan and the Saint, so many things that have been really important to our Muslim community, and shown on PBS to the outside world as well. I've asked them to talk about an important resource that they have available on their website that I wanted the community to know about, especially with right now everybody doing online learning. So stay tuned. I think you're going to like it.
Assalamu alaikum, dear friends of the Next Wave Muslim Initiative. My name is Jawad Abdurrahman. I work with Unity Productions Foundation, UPF, and I am so pleased to be with all of you today. Ramadan Mubarak to all of you from my heart. Ramadan's going to feel different this year for all of us. I was asking some of the elders in my family and friends, they've lived through wars, they've lived through migration, a lot of difficulty. I asked them, have you ever experienced a Ramadan like this? They thought about it, and they all said no. And so it's genuinely going to be different. But it is still always going to be something that is filled with barakah, that it is filled with blessings that go above and beyond our expectations. Sometimes when we do something the right way, we have the right intention, we do things the right way, we get a result much bigger than we ever thought we could possibly get. That is what barakah is all about. And so I want to share 3 blessings with you today. Blessing number 1, I have been blessed to be a part of a project that we've done here at UPF called Nadia's Ramadan. You may have heard about this. This is the first film produced specifically for schools about Muslim holidays, about Ramadan, for the classroom. It's a 9-minute film. It's about a young girl going through her first day of fasting and prayer and so on. And let's watch the last 3 minutes of the film. This is the portion on Eid. Let's take a look.
Today is Eid.
All right, Adam, you have a 2-part present.
Around the world, Muslim children get new clothes, bags of candy, and sometimes small gifts, and money to spend later on treats. We all get dressed up. We're ready to go to the mosque. We say special prayers. We take time to remember the poor and remind ourselves to be grateful for what we have. Everyone is dressed in their best clothes. It is very colorful. Now is the best part. Eid is a 3-day holiday. Many children around the world go to outdoor parties and fairs. Ramadan is over now. I will try to remember the lessons I learned, to be helpful to others and grateful for what I have. Fasting was hard sometimes, but our iftars are always fun. Next year, I will watch the sky and look forward to the start of the next Ramadan.
Eid is tomorrow and my friends are celebrating. Eid is tomorrow, you can see them decorating. Come back tomorrow and you'll hear them all say, Happy Eid, Eid is today. Colorful dresses from many different places, smiling and laughing on many different faces. Come back tomorrow and you'll hear them all say, Come back tomorrow and you'll hear my friends say, Happy Eid, Eid is today.
So here is something that you can do. You can help get this film out to your child's school teacher. The film has already been shown in 6,000 classrooms around the country. We want to get to 10,000 this year. teachers are looking for content, especially now because everyone is homeschooling, please Google PBS Learning Media Nadia's Ramadan, and that share that link with your child's school teacher. They'll see the lesson plans, the discussion questions, and so on. And I hope, by the way, that you also like the song at the end of the video. The next blessing that I'm really excited to share with you today is a film that we're currently producing called Lamia's Poem. This is the story of a young Syrian refugee girl who, across place and time, meets a young refugee boy. That boy that she meets 7 centuries earlier is the famous Muslim poet Jalaluddin Rumi. The famous poet Rumi, when he was a child, was escaping the Mongols. These two have to find a new place of hope. They have to find a new home. They go on different adventures together, and they keep meeting each other across place and time. It's an animated film. It's something totally different from UPF. We're really excited about it. And what I'm going to show you now is something called an animatic scene. So I'm taking you behind the scenes. This is not polished at all. This is not how the way the film is going to look. This is almost like a comic strip version of the film. So before the film actually is animated, before we actually add all the various movements and add the color, we kind of have this comic strip version, the animatic, the storyboard. And so what you're going to see in this particular scene is that Lamia's teacher, a man named Mr. Hamadani, has come to her house and he's giving her lesson at home, just like you're homeschooling. The teacher comes to meet Lamia, and he gives her a book of Rumi's poetry, and he introduces Rumi to her. Let's take a look and watch this animatic scene from Lamia's poem.
When Rumi was a boy, he lived in a beautiful city named Samarkand. Books flew from the pens of scholars and poets. One of the greatest religious scholars of the time was his father. But then, a terrible thing happened. A nation of conquerors called the Mongols invaded. His beautiful city was destroyed.
He became a refugee.
Here, read this one.
Listen to the reed and the tale it tells, how it sings of separation. Since I was torn from my reed bed, my song has been a strain of love and pain. I long for someone who understands the signs, to mingle their heart with mine. To heal a heart that bleeds, listen, listen to the reed.
We'll discuss the poems next time. Maybe you can share them with some of your friends.
We are so excited that Millie Davis from the Odd Squad, if you're fans of the Odd Squad, is playing the voice of Lamia in this film, that Mina Masood from Aladdin is playing the voice of Rumi in this film, and we have a number of other excellent stars. We have Syrian refugees who are playing certain roles as well. We're really excited about this. We still have a ways to go in terms of the budget, and we'll talk more about that, inshallah, in the future. The last blessing I wanted to share with you was just a thought. And the thought is that in this month of Ramadan, this month of the Quran, think small. What do I mean by that? Now, many people have the ability and they practice, they know how to read the entire Quran in a month. If you can do that, that's wonderful. Please do that. But if you can't do that, focus on what you can do, even if it's small. After all, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said the best of the good deeds are the ones which are done consistently, even if they are small. And one of the small good deeds I want you to think about doing this month, in addition to all the people you're going to be serving and your fasting and your prayers and everything else, is to reflect upon whatever Quran you know. Even if you only know 5 surahs that you learned, maybe growing up, just reflect upon those as a starting point. And then whatever you read, really think about it. Try to understand it. What is the message that is coming across here? Let me give you an example of what I mean. For years, I read this very last ayah, the very last verse of Surah Baqarah. It's a beautiful prayer. And I read it for years and years, and then for some reason I just stopped reading it. I don't know why. I just fell out of habit of reading it for maybe many years. And then I looked at it again. And this time I actually read it with the meaning. And I saw that it's so beautiful. And I asked myself, why was I missing out on reading and reflecting on these beautiful words? So I'm going to read it for you now. And I want you to listen very carefully. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. Our Lord, don't take us to task if we forget or if we make mistakes. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. Our Lord, don't lay upon us a burden as you laid upon those before us. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به. Our Lord, do not burden us with more than we have the strength to bear. وَاعْفُ عَنَّا, wipe away our sins. وَاغْفِرْ لَنَا, and grant us forgiveness. وَارْحَمْنَا, and have mercy upon us. أَنْتَ مَوْلَانَا, you are our protector. فَانْصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ, help us against those who cover up the truth. And with that, I want to thank you for listening. I wish you barakah in this Ramadan. Please remember me as well in your dua, and I will remember you. And I would encourage you to write your own personal dua this month and share it with your family. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Okay, here's a moment that I'm so excited about. I first heard Yasmin, the comedian, at a show called Wallah She's Funny. I think I heard her a few years before then too. You guys might know her on Instagram as Yaz Guru, but she is just clever as ever and willing to just say it as it is. Our experiences as parents, as second generation Muslims, as Muslims in general. She just makes comedy about our experience, and it's heartwarming, and I felt like some comic relief that we needed right now in our lives. She's also a lawyer and incredibly clever.
Well, welcome to my home. Actually, can you get out of here? Seriously, I can't risk getting infected. Go. Come on, it's almost Ramadan. Get out of here. You're staying? Okay. Someone's got a little bit of attitude. Well, okay. I'll tell you why we're all here since you're not leaving. This awesome organization called Next Wave Muslim Initiative, NUMI, is hosting a beautifully curated, welcoming Ramadan family festival, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. We're going to be doing a little bit of funny today. We're going to be doing a little bit of serious. There's going to be awesome music by Raef at the end. So this is going to be an amazing way to kick off the most important time of our entire year. You can stay for a little bit since you're already here, just for a little bit, not for very long. But where's my gift? Since you came into my home. Where are my chocolates? Not seriously, nothing. Not even. You didn't bring sparkling apple cider or dates. Dates would be on brand. Seriously, nothing.
Oh, hi, it's your local Muslim neighbor here with a couple of pro tips, life hacks for how to get through COVID-19. So chances are, if you have a Muslim immigrant neighbor, when they bought those honey jars or tomato paste or Kalamata olives, they weren't just purchasing what was inside of here. No, they're geniuses. They're resourceful. They were purchasing the endless possibilities of what this container means. Yeah, okay, so this is important, COVID-19. It can hold dry goods that are gonna keep your family full and fed, not hungry and sad. There's beans in here and couscous. This used to be a chocolate container. We've reused it. Reuse, reduce, recycle. That's a thing that we created, okay? Before Greta talked about the climate change, okay? Yes. Speaking of chocolate and climate change, how about the change of a tin into a sewing kit? That's what we know. Probably your parents had a Quality Street, if you have immigrant parents, had a Quality Street tin. This is just my generation's Quality Street tin. It's a sewing kit. Don't mind whatever is written on here, because that's what it's for. It's for sewing. And when we talk about chocolate, just remember that if you are a daughter of immigrants or a son of immigrants, you know that if you got a chocolate box, this chocolate's not for you. You're not even allowed to touch this. Don't even look at it. This is for regifting. And yes, 5 years from now, when that unsuspecting family that you go over to house gets it, they're gonna just find sad chocolate dust in there. Just sadness. And speaking of sad, you can also send your kids to school, yes, to have no friends. Are you ready? After the apocalypse, whenever life restarts in 20 never, you can send your kids back to school with their lunch right in here. Yeah, so little Susie's gonna be like, what is that? What is that, Fatima? What is that? And you're gonna be like, oh, that's just rice and mulukhiyah. What? Mulukhu, what? It's just our spinach, but way better than yours. And little Susie's gonna be like, what? Your mom is cheap? And you're like, oh no, my mom is way smarter than your mom.
Don't you just love Ramadan decorations? No? I love them. I've been trying to get the kids to get more into them, but you know, my kids are 1 and 3, so they don't understand what's going on. But my husband's like obsessed with getting the Ramadan little like gift bags for them. He's like, we have to do this. We've got to make something of Ramadan. We got to make it important to them. And I'm like, I don't know if they know what's going on. They're 1 and 3. They just want to hang out with us. Like, no. We've got to get the perfect dates and the perfect twinkle lights and the perfect signs. And I'm like, the ones that they can't read? Like, what are we doing? Sometimes I feel like parents who are obsessed with those things are doing it for the gram. They're not really doing it for their kids. But I know for my husband, it's coming from a genuine place. Like, he really just wants to make Ramadan special. But the truth is that Ramadan is special in and of itself because it's a time where your kids are going to see you in increased spiritual awareness. Hopefully, you'll be more patient, more focused, more centered, and not grumpy and have bad smelling breath. No, we're going to try to focus on the positive, not hangry and trying to be sleepy all the time, kind of a little bit sleepy. No. They are going to see the best versions of ourselves because they're going to be hopefully engaging in spiritual practice with us. So ditch the focus on the decorations and maybe increase the focus on the conversations. You like what I did there? All of you guys are good parents and you're trying your best, and that's what matters. And at the same time, if perhaps, you know, we order a little Ramadan cake and smash it into each other's faces, maybe that way they'll think of Ramadan as a birthday, the birthday of the Quran. Let's celebrate the birthday of the Quran. That's what, anybody? Nobody thinks that's cool. I'm a loser. See you later. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. I start the serious portion of this video by seeking God's refuge against the evil of the shaitan, the devil, and by invoking God's name, the most gracious and most merciful. And I want you guys to like sit with that for the rest of the month. That should be like your litmus paper test. Can I invoke God's name before doing this? Does this honor God or is it dishonorable to God? Like, for example, if you have the urge to punch your brother or sister in the face, probably not good. Stay away from that kind of behavior, guys. Fix yourself. I also send salutations and blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad, the most honorable of all prophets and messengers, and upon his beautiful family and the companions in manifold blessing. I want us to take these moments to reflect on the weight of this month, the enormity of this month. Now, just remember that what we're actually commemorating here and celebrating is the revelation to the Prophet ﷺ over 1,400 years ago. And you are in a long line of communities that have done this. It's kind of amazing that the Prophet ﷺ, when he would receive the message, you know, he would tremble, he would shake, he would sweat. It was toiling and difficult to receive this heavy, heavy message. And I want us to walk in his footsteps for the rest of this month, remembering that challenge can bring great opportunity. We are in challenging times. This COVID crisis has made things really quiet and has amplified other important sounds like our own thoughts. What is it that we're doing? What do we want? Who are we? And why are we here? And Ramadan in and of itself, the fasting is challenging. It's not easy, but what do you gain through that sacrifice? I want you to always remember that with all the science data, it's amazing. Intermittent fasting, showing that people who fast or reduce their calories on certain days of the week have such increased health benefits. So you're gaining the health benefits, but the hope is that you're gaining the mental clarity and the focus that you need to answer these very important questions. Our purpose should be to glorify God and to worship him in a way that shows gratitude and to be a mercy to all of mankind. That is following in the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And just think about how many generations of Muslims would glorify God's name. That is what drove them to create such beauty and to push forward the idea of a life-affirming religion, a life-affirming way of life. So when you're thinking about this month, I want you also to remember that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us in an authentic hadith that all of your actions are multiplied this month by 10-fold. All of the good that you do multiplied by 10. But look how merciful God is. Even when you think of something bad and you abstain from that, you don't do it, you withhold yourself from doing that, God gives you a reward for that. Not of thinking of something bad, you're not going to get any kind of punishment. You're going to get a reward for not doing something. That's amazing. And think about it, it's going to be multiplied by 10 this time. The Prophet ﷺ told us to do good acts during this month, including the giving of sadaqah, of charity, to increase in it during this month, sirran wa alaniyan, in secret and in public. So why don't you give yourself a 30-day challenge of doing something kind every day this month, both private and public. So, the smile that you give to that person in the Zoom call, or maybe to your mom, or maybe to your spouse, that is charity, and that can be something that you don't have to broadcast to everyone. It could be, private in that way. But you could also find someone in need and fulfill their need. There's lots of people that are in really financial distress during this time, and if you're blessed to not be, try to give to those families. There are, hardship grants that different organizations are leading. So really try to find a way to alleviate other people's burden. And that is being prophetic. And that is what we should be focused on doing during this month. And remember the challenge that the Prophet ﷺ faced when he received the message. It was not easy. So this is not easy. It's difficult, but there's great expansion to be had. I want to end with making a dua. Oh Allah, we ask for you to make us a means of true mercy to the people around us. We ask you, oh Allah, to help us find our mission and our purpose in our life so that we can continue to do the good work of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and to not be humiliated in front of him on the day of judgment, so that we can seek his intercession and be squarely a part of his ummah, part of his community. Oh Allah, we ask for you to help us glorify your name and honor your name by doing the things that elevate our consciousness, not make us into base beings, but to make us into better, more beautiful, whole beings during this time. Oh Allah, we ask for you to help us give in charity, both in public and in private, and to give us the multiple blessings of this month, and to help us abstain from the things that displease you. And oh Allah, we ask for you in a heartfelt way to please alleviate the suffering of the people who are every single day going through a crisis in this world, not just from this virus, the COVID-19 virus that we ask for you to heal us from, but also from the other terrible injustices against them. And we ask you, O Allah, to make us one community and one humanity together during this time. Ameen. 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 So many of you are worried about what this month is going to look like. Shahr Ramadan, the month of the Quran, in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis. Look, you were born for this. Calm down. First of all, every Ramadan is about quarantining your stomach away from food and quarantining yourself from a bad habit. So it's just a continuation. You are born for this, baby, okay? Ramadan is all about reducing intake, not having crazy huge feasts and Ramadan iftar invites 3 months in advance that are like VIP. None of that crap. This is about going back to the basics, my friends, and you will reduce your intake and you will reduce your waist size. And that's always a good thing, okay? Going to the grocery store these days, it's like preparing yourself for cleaning up a toxic waste spill. You have to wear a hazmat suit and sanitize everything. You're not going to be too worried about that. This is going to really be about the basic foods and spending time with your family who is in and of itself a test from God, isn't it? It's like a Ramadan that you're really going to be focused on the important things, getting through the worst version of yourself to get to the best version of yourself. It's like a beautiful caterpillar whose caterpillars are not beautiful, are they? They're pretty gross. They're hairy and they move like worms. It's maybe not a good analogy, but you will become a butterfly at the end. And yes, we have to cocoon ourselves in sometimes this ugliness of COVID-19 to become the beautiful light butterfly at the end of it. People are gonna be like, what have you been doing at home? Have you been doing sit-ups? Are you on a treadmill or something? Do you have a Peloton? And you're gonna be like, no, this is just Allah. That's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I love you guys. You can do this. Happy Ramadan.
Now that we absolutely have your attention, I think we're all captivated by that. I want to bring about an important part of welcoming Ramadan, which is a focus on your health. Yes, we have a genius in our community, a pediatrician named Dr. Qadira Ali Huff. She's incredible. She has an Instagram called Sprouting Wellness, and she tries to teach the community about living a healthy lifestyle. And we've invited her on to give us a few tips before we start the holy month on how we could keep our bodies healthy and what good habits we could set for ourselves. She's full of wisdom. This portion is for you to pay attention, and then is our final grand finale that you've been waiting for.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Dr. Qadira Ali Huff, and I am a local pediatrician as well as lifestyle medicine physician based here in Washington, D.C. I'd like to wish you all an early Ramadan Mubarak as I begin to present a few tips for you all to think about in terms of how to approach Ramadan with wellness. Okay, so this is our holy month where we are all looking to connect spiritually with our Creator. As we are doing that, I just want to ensure that we're also thinking about taking care of our physical bodies as well. This month is demanding in terms of the physical toll potentially, but also obviously there are a lot of beautiful spiritual rewards that we can inshallah reap. But as we go about the spiritual rewards, we really want to be especially careful about how we're treating our bodies, ensuring that we're taking good care as best as we can as we navigate the month. All right. So my first tip is really be thoughtful in terms of the meals that we are consuming. You want to make your meals count. And by that, I mean really trying to put an emphasis on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. These are the most nutrient-dense foods that we have on the planet. And a lot of times during Ramadan, these are the foods that can sometimes get pushed to the wayside when we're so excited to have some of the delicacies that maybe are only presented during Ramadan. So be mindful that as we are approaching our early morning meal and our breakfast, that we really want to let these sorts of nutrient-dense foods be the star of the show. And if we want to have those other delicacies, have at it. This is definitely a time to enjoy those, but you want to make sure that the primary source of your nutrition and calories is coming from those whole foods, okay? My second tip is to really try to move your body every day. Time is very short for all of us right now, especially in the midst of this pandemic, and then especially with the additional responsibilities that we will have during our holy month. But really try to put movement on your to-do list every day. And it doesn't mean it has to be something very rigorous. It can be even going for an evening walk, doing yoga, stretching at home, doing some push-ups, just something to move your body, get your circulation going. And you'll find that the more movement that you integrate into your day, it really helps to boost your energy, which we all need as much of that as possible during this month when our bodies are under additional toll. Okay, so get some movement in every single day as best as you can. All right, my next tip is think about our beverages and choose water for your number 1, 2, and 3 drinks. Why? Water is the most hydrating fluid we have on the planet, okay? And also water comes without all of the other things that, in terms of sugar and additives and coloring agents, things of that nature that really don't fuel our bodies well. So really try to make water the focus of your fluid intake, and choose that for the first, second, and third drinks. Okay, we need that in our morning meal, and we also need it at breakfast in ample quantities. So choosing water that's going to hydrate you much better than especially sugar sweetened beverages. And I would also caution to really tread lightly on the caffeine and choose water. Okay. My next tip for you all is number 4: indulge mindfully. I've said the word indulge once or twice already, and that's just because I know this is a time when a lot of those special recipes get pulled out. We're excited to prepare these for our families, and I know given some of the extra restraints we have over a month this particular year, those recipes and those special foods will have even more importance. So, with that being said, I really encourage you all to indulge mindfully. What do I mean by that? I mean, don't go buck wild at every meal. If you're not used to eating dessert after every meal in non-Ramadan times, do not do it during Ramadan. Plan those special indulgences, plan the special meals or desserts if that's your thing, and really ensure when you are making that decision to eat them that you are enjoying, you're savoring every bite, you're being mindful when you're eating, and you're not just kind of scarfing it down and being a little thoughtless in terms of consuming. So indulge, but indulge mindfully, and really be aware that you want to set limitations on yourself, because this is not the month of excess. This is not the month of excess. This is a month to really help to instill the value of moderation, and I want to really impart that to you all with this last tip. My next recommendation is setting a bedtime. Okay, sleep is one of the resources that we really fall short on this month. And, the prayer times are very close together, especially if you're doing Taraweeh. It makes our sleep duration even shorter. So with that being said, really try to prioritize getting to bed as soon as you're able to once your prayers are done. And then also, don't be ashamed of bringing the nap into your day. Power naps, actually, there's a lot of research to show short naps, so we're talking about 20 to 30-minute naps, strategically placed in your day, can really help to revive you, give you a new burst of energy so that you can go on and continue through the rest of your day. So setting your bedtime, getting to bed as soon as you're able. Don't go on your phone and scroll or watch TV or what have you. Really get to bed as soon as you're able. And then as the day wears on and you feel like you need a pick-me-up, do not hesitate to build in a power nap. Okay. The last tip I really wanted to mention to you all before I sign off is really think about quitting smoking. There are still a significant number of American adults who do smoke regularly, and Ramadan can be a particularly tough time for Muslims who do smoke cigarettes or other agents. Let this be a time when you really reflect on, can I quit this year? There is innumerable harm done from smoking cigarettes. I'll focus on that in terms of our risk of cancer and high blood pressure and heart disease, and even the impact it has on our loved ones in terms of increasing their risk of respiratory illnesses and asthma in children. The list goes on and on and on. And so of all the gifts that you could give yourself, in addition to the spiritual connection with our Creator, think about giving yourself the gift of quitting smoking. Okay? So those are the things I really wanted to highlight in terms of a healthy Ramadan, how we can approach this month in terms of not just our spiritual connection, but how we are treating our bodies physically during this month. And it's going to help us in our worship. It's going to help us in terms of our energy levels and also in terms of our relationships if we're showing up as our healthiest and most full of wellness individuals. All right, well, that's all I have for you. I hope you all have a beautiful month. And inshallah, I will see many of you virtually over the month. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I hope that you really enjoyed that this welcoming Ramadan program. We've now come to the point that I'm sure many of you are looking forward to. We have Raef with us, and who's ready to perform in his home studio for the last part of our program. But before we get to that, I just wanted to make one small note, is that we love offering Numi Connect programs, our virtual programs, for free to our community, but these programs still do incur a cost. So if you enjoyed this program today and you're looking forward to a really robust lineup of Ramadan programming that we have planned, please take a moment to make a donation of whatever amount is comfortable for you. And you can do so at any time during the month at our website, www.numi.org. So we have Raef here, and I am going to hand it over to him. He's going to tell us how we can be singing along at home, just like we did last year at Numi's celebration of the Prophet's birthday. And so I see him here, and let's see. I hear you. There you are.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum, everyone. I can see that there are 74 people, 74 families, I should say. There's probably more in your living room, or on your laptop, on your iPad, or on your phone. I'm so happy to be joining you guys here less than a week away from our special month, subhanAllah. And ever since COVID-19 came around, our lives have changed quite a bit, including myself. I'm doing a lot of my performances from where I am right here instead of traveling around the country and visiting other communities and sharing my music. But I'm so happy to be with you here today. I wanted to start with a song that I usually don't start with, but it's a song that I wanted to start with because, well, the times are different. And this song, I like to sing it the good times, the bad times, and everywhere in between. The song is called Alhamdulillah. Cruising on my journey, with it all the good and bad. There's blessings that I don't see, cause I wanna love me. I'll thank him for whatever I have. Alhamdulillah, no matter what comes my way. Alhamdulillah, my heart will thank and praise. And every time I'm feeling down or out of place, alhamdulillah, everything's gonna be okay. Okay. This dunya can deceive me, but nothing ever goes as planned. When I can't remember, my heart will surely understand. I'm starving for His mercy. I ask Allah to guide me, so I'll thank Him for whatever I have. Alhamdulillah, no matter what comes my way. Alhamdulillah, my heart will thank and praise. And every time I'm feeling down or out of place, alhamdulillah, everything's gonna be okay. Alhamdulillah, everything's gonna be okay. You know, one of the weird things about performing these virtual performances is I'm so used to having an audience in front of me that I can interact with, that I can see the smiles and see the swaying and hear the offbeat claps sometimes, and it's different. And what I want to try to do today is have a little bit of that interaction right here. And so what I'm going to do on this next song, and I love doing this song in a live in-person audience because I can hear the audience sing back, and it's such an amazing feeling. And any of you guys who were at the celebration of the Mawlid last year, you could feel it in the room. Everyone was singing salawat on the Prophet at the same time. It's such an amazing feeling. So I actually want to try that now and see if it's going to work. So here's how this is going to happen. When I say Sallallahu ala Muhammad, everyone at home should be singing Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Let's try it again. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Let's try it one more time. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now, at any moment during my singing, if I pause and wait for your singing, I'm going to wait for people to raise their hand. I'm going to try this out. Let's see if this works. Okay, so Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Who wants to sing back? Raise your hand. And let's see, Tasnuva. Tasnuva? Not working? Okay, it worked! Yay! Okay, let's try it one more time. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Dua Hamid.
Alayhi wasallam.
MashaAllah, it worked. Okay, we're in business. So this song is called Peace and Blessings. Even if I don't pick on you, I want you guys singing at home. Give me your hand, I will give you my heart. Every day is a brand new start. His words are here to help us through. Rasulullah, peace and blessings on you. Salatullah, salamullah, ala taha rasulillah. Salatullah, salamullah, ala yasin habibillah. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Amal, your turn. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Amal. Let's try someone else. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Zaki.
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
So that's what I want to hear. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Let's try to be. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Farah. Okay, let's keep going. I've never seen you, but I love you so. And in your footsteps, I'll try to follow. Oh, a smile you give me, stop my fall. Yeah, the bright rose, mercy on all. Everyone, Salatullah, salamullah, ala taha rasulillah. Salatullah, salamullah, ala yasin habibillah. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is so much fun. Inshallah, next time we do this, I think what we'll try to do is do a meeting view so everyone can see everyone and we can all see each other sing at the same time. It's so much fun. Even though it might sound terrible because of the lag and the delay, it's still a lot of fun. So this next song is about love. Well, I don't know tilted. I tried to be chill, but was so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks, and I'm trying to get back before the cool done run out. And I've been giving it my bestest, and nothing's gonna help me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, so I won't hesitate no more. This cannot wait. I'm yours, puppy, I'm yours. La da 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 ba da da. La da 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 do da da da. They say that love never lasts, love never lives to see another day. But what I know deep down inside is what I feel, and it's so real. I gave it up for you, and there ain't nothing that I won't do. All I know deep down inside is what I feel, and it's so real with you. Allah, every day I'll try to be as true as I can to you, 'cause loving you the best I can will always be my number one and only plan. Yes, every day I'll try to be as true as I can to you, 'cause loving you the best I can will always be my number one and only plan. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ah, ah, ah. I've been spending way too long checking my tongue in the mirror and bending over backwards just to try to see it clearer, and my breath fogged up the glass. So I drew a new face and laughed. I guess what I be saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the season. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, so I won't hesitate no more, no more. This cannot wait. I'm yours, puppy, I'm yours. La da 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 da. Stay out of your mind. Don't you know the love fades away? You say it only brings you pain, but what I feel is so real. I gave it up for you, and there ain't nothing that I won't do. All I know deep down inside is what I feel, and it's so real with you. Thank you for everyone sitting at home. Man, alhamdulillah for this amazing technology that allows us to be connected even when we're forced to be apart. But this is what's so amazing about music. You know, music brings us together. And a lot of times, music brings us together when we don't even know the language. And this next song is a perfect example of that song. Of that this next song is a perfect example of what I was trying to say. This next song is a song written by Yemeni merchants as they travel to Far East Asia to trade cloth and food with present-day Indonesia. Back then it was called Nusantara, which is a collection of islands. And the people of those islands didn't know about Islam. They didn't know about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as these Yemeni merchants started to trade with them, people started to learn about Islam. They started to learn about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they wrote this song in praise of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this song became so popular across Nusantara, those islands, that till this day, people sing this song called Salatullah Salamullah. So I just took this song and made a version of it called Southern Salawat. So here's Southern Salawat. A world so lost, a world in pain, a world in need as mercy came. A calm in peace, a love like rain. Our hearts will sing and praise His name. Salatullah, salamullah, ala Taha Rasulillah. Salatullah, salamullah, ala Yasin Habibillah. Salatullah, salamullah, ala Yasin Habibillah. A living guide, His light will bring the best in us to everything. Oh Allah, send your peace and blessings, and love and praise His name will sing. Salatullah, salamullah, ala Taha Rasulillah. Salatullah, salamullah, ala Yasin Habibillah. Salatullah, salamullah, ala Yasin Habibillah, ala Yasin Habibillah. Thank you. MashaAllah. I love songs about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if you notice, most of my performances are about Prophet Muhammad because he's such an amazing man. And his story is so inspiring. But I did want to end with a song about what's to come. A song about hope. A song about what's near. A song about Allah's mercy. And this song is a song about Ramadan. And I want to say that I don't know how I feel about Ramadan this year. It's different. It's going to be different for sure, because we're so used to Ramadan being a time of gathering and singing together and praying together and eating together and cooking together. There's a lot of togetherness in Ramadan. And because of the state of our world and how things have changed, it's going to be different. But alhamdulillah for technology, and alhamdulillah for the amazing work that Numi's doing. And alhamdulillah for our families, where we can still gather together and cook together and eat together and pray together, sing together and recite Quran together and get closer to Allah together. So this song is a bittersweet song because I know Ramadan's going to be a little different this year. Perhaps not what I'm used to, but I'm excited for what's to come. And it's definitely going to be a Ramadan that's worth remembering. So this song is called Ramadan is Here. So for this song, just because I like to imagine that everyone at home is singing along, because it's just kind of a cool feeling. So this is the refrain. Can you sing that? With me. One more time. With hope in our eyes with me. Day and all night, no more words will recite. Healing our hearts with one hand. Revealed on the night of power. Guide for this world to the end. Like those nations have done, hold fast for the one. Creator from him shines all light. Oh Lord, please forgive us and guide us to paradise. And me, Ramadan is here. Allah's mercy is near. Time to give, time to share, time to show we care. 'Cause Ramadan is here. Man, I'm gonna cry. Ramadan is so close. Sing with me. With friends and family, we'll break bread and be thankful for all we have. Spending our nights in prayer, a chance for a brand new path. A month to let go of grudges we hold, time to make it right. Oh Lord, please unite us and guide us to paradise. Oh, and guide us to paradise. Ramadan is here. Allah's mercy is near. Time to give, time to share, time to show we care. 'Cause Ramadan is here. One more time. Ramadan is here. Allah's mercy is near. Time to give, time to share, time to show we care. 'Cause Ramadan is here. Oh, Ramadan is here. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Alaikum assalam. I kept wanting to kind of respond for the group and just say, yay, oh, we're loving it. Our family's singing along. It's fantastic. MashaAllah, there's been so many positive comments and everybody is thanking you in the chat box. We're so grateful to have you because music has the ability to move our hearts. And I think that that's really what we needed to get into the Ramadan spirit. We're all in our homes and things feel very different than usual. And when we get together in the masajid together or at Numi programs together, we're able to get into that spirit. But alhamdulillah, with your music and with today's program, I feel like we got into that heart space that we needed. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me share my space and my music with you all. And yeah, it's a new experience for everyone, and I'm hoping that everyone at home is safe and getting to know your family even more. And inshallah, this Ramadan will be a special one. It's different, maybe a little challenging, but inshallah, a special one.
Yes, indeed. So Raef, I have handed over so fully the host capabilities to you. So you have fully become the host. So I think we're going to share this screen as we close out this program. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. I hope that you stay tuned for Numi's upcoming Ramadan program. We have some incredible things planned, alhamdulillah. We have a qari who's going to be reciting, a professional qari who's going to be reciting the juz of the day every single day at lunchtime, so that you could nourish your hearts instead of your stomachs. And hopefully we'll finish the entire Quran this month. And in addition, we have Sheikh Ali Al-Hilli, who's going to be leading discussion every Thursday after Dua Kumail. We have late night hangout for teens and yoga and all kinds of things lined up to help us be in the spirit and still try to share our community connectedness this month. So stay tuned on the Numi website, and I hope that everybody has a joyous and blessed Ramadan. Thank you for joining us today. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.